you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Taha, with me is Brother Fakir Abdul Aziz, and with us on the setting is always a pleasure and honor to have Lord Holy-Apostle Deen, the messenger of prophet by Ahezaah for Allah this day and time. May his peace and the blessing be about your presence.
May his peace and the blessing be about your presence.
Yes, sir. All praise due to our glorious Lord. The blessing to sit down in this program this evening discussing many topics concerning the hours of the signs and the times of this day. And for those who are not graced who've been watching the show, you tune in for a particular good evening, because the Lord, many times people look at society, look at the world, and they think about the things that are going wrong in the world. And then many times they only extend it outside of themselves, never looking within to check within themselves about the devil. Now, many people think the devil's entity outside of them, and then with all the chaos going on, that's the devil alone. But many of us don't recognize there's a devil within us that's calling us away from the reality of truth, from the Lord Most High, that wants to seize the throne, that we speak about in the heart of man. And many times, people say that was me, the devil made me do it, but they thinking really it's the devil other than them doing things today. So sit back and relax and enjoy it. Hopefully be enlightened in what you hear this evening. My brothers, anytime, you know.
If I may just put on possibly just to reiterate what you were saying about the reality of the devils that are within each of us, and the chore, the jihad, the struggle to contest with that and recognize that, you know, one thing that demon within, that rejecter of faith within, triggers them to do it, is to also, one thing is worshiping so many other things other than the true Lord of all worlds, the Most High. So with that, you know, that's a great trick that's performed on us, and people of the world is duped by all creeds, religions, whatever their walk of life is, you know. And if I may ask the Lord if you can address just the matter.
Yes. But before I get into this conversation, I just like to thank our listening audiences for their compliments of our program. And we've been receiving some good reviews and from our listening audience. And I even received a blessing, this shirt from the Philippines. Philippine Islands. So I realized that our words have been carried over to the Philippine Islands as well, you know, as before they was carried over to Africa and Arabia, you know, Africa and Asia, and China, what was that?
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. You know, so it's good to know that our words, the Lord's words, is not just stuck here in this small vicinity.
Okay.
You know, that they are being received by people and appreciated by people. And so we are wrestling with the devil. And we're beating the devil down. And I also would like to thank the young audience. I know that there's a young audience because I was told that there are groups of young ladies that get together and listen to our program as well. On a weekly basis, and these are teenagers, you know.
Right.
And they've complimented the show, and I had promised one of my granddaughters that I would give her a little shout out.
Okay.
Kyra Davis, and so I just want to do that, and for her group, you know, thank you. Now, what I have to say about the devil, first of all, let us go back to Elijah Muhammad.
Okay.
Because I know that we have a large audience of our, you know, African American people, African American people, and some may be from, you know, have inclinations to the Nation of Islam. Okay. My Lord said that it caused Elijah Muhammad to call the Caucasians devils as a tool of war, because we were looked upon, African American ex-slaves were looked upon as sons and daughters of the devil, cursed. They took words that was misconstrued in the Bible, and where it says that black means you're cursed.
Right, that's true.
And they put that, they applied that to us.
Mm-hmm.
And see, we're not black.
Right.
You know, your shirt is black.
Mm-hmm.
You know, none of us is black.
Right.
But they applied that to us, and they say that they're white. You know, Caucasians say they're white.
Right.
And pages of that book is with the letters on it is white.
Right.
And they're not white.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So this black and white thing that was written about in the Bible was not relative to people's complexion.
Right.
You know? Blackness comes in your aura.
Right.
You know, any person can have a black aura when death is approaching, or if they have a great deal of malice, hatred in them, that blackness show up if they're dealing with black magic. And what we consider black magic and white magic is they've termed black magic is the bad magic, and white magic is the good magic. Well, the Lord never says black and white in the Holy Quran or any holy books pertaining to the magic.
Right.
It says those who are on the right of it and those who are on the left of it, or the wrong of it. Mm-hmm. You understand? And it has spoke to me in terms of not even using that right and left so much so, because people who are left-handed are looked upon as bad people, evil people, by some people, and that's not right.
That's true, yeah.
You know, the Lord says to me, I asked the Lord, why did He put its name in my left hand?
Right.
And the stars in my right hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why not put His name in my right hand and the stars in my left hand? The Lord said to me, son, I am as good to you on the left as I am on the right. I have made you complete and whole, and you are as good on the left as you are on the right. You see? So now, then we go to a statement that was made by Prophet Muhammad.
Right. Yeah.
About when someone asked him about a devil, if all men have a devil, well, what about him?
Right.
And man was, want to throw stones at Prophet Muhammad, and Prophet Muhammad said, yes, I have a devil too, but my devil serves Allah. Mm-hmm. You see? So the devil is within all people. Mm-hmm. And as I said, the Lord said He gave that to Elijah Muhammad to use as a tool of war, because the white man the Caucasian people was taking us down, taking our people down, or African Americans down with the negative language.
Right.
And having our people look to them, and not just African Americans, but all people, look to them as lords over them, owners over them. Mm-hmm. That's what the Lord is. And gods over them. People who are to be feared and worshipped. That's what a God is. Right. Something that's feared and worshipped. Right. You know? And so the Lord caused Elijah to say that we were the gods and they were the devils. Right. And that transfixed the thoughts in our minds of being secondary people to them, slaves to them. Right. You know, and it turned a lot of people around. It made them start looking and saying, wait a minute, I'm just as good as these people here. Right. You know, now, another thing that was told to me is that all the devil wants from you, the devil don't want much from you. Mm-hmm. All it wants from you is to veer off from the straight path just a little. That's all it takes. It's just a little. And once you veer off a little, then you're on that path going in the wrong direction. Right. Then it could basically leave you to the life that is put out here with all the curses, with all the tricks, with all of the deceit, with all the mayhem, because you're going to be headed in that direction. Right. It don't necessarily want you to say the devil is God. Right. It wants you to say anything other than the Lord Most High is God. Right. Anything other than the Lord Most High is Lord. Right. Anything, they want you to say that it is to be worshipped. You see, other than the Lord. You see?
Lord Holy-Apostle Deen, anything other than the Lord of Lord, that would include the prophets as well.
Yes, definitely. That would include the prophets and all the enlightened people, all those who are the messengers, the holy messengers. Yeah. It would include Jesus and Siddhartha and Gautama and Muhammad and David and Benjamin and Joseph and anybody that the people raised, you know. Even Ezra, they raised Ezra. Anybody that they raised. It includes all of them because there's only one thing to be worshipped. And that one thing is the cause and effect behind all things, all acts. Jesus could not even speak if the Lord didn't give him power to speak. Jesus could not think if the Lord didn't pass a thought through his brain. Jesus could not do anything, the small things Jesus could not do if the Lord was to take its power away from Jesus during his lifetime here. Therefore, what praise does Jesus do?
That's so true.
The same is with Muhammad. What praise does Muhammad do? It's the devils that walked around Jesus and Muhammad, the devils that prayed with them in their houses of worship, the devils that claim to be their friends, the one that put the falsehood around the prophets. You know, like people go on today, the devils, the dupes of the devil go on today saying that Jesus is the only begotten Son of the Lord Most High. And we know that the Lord Most High is beyond mankind, beyond humanity, beyond angels, beyond reality. It said to me that reality is the most for us.
Yes.
But it is the least of it. Now, how can you fathom that? How can you understand that? It said that reality is the least of it. In other words, it is the real that has broke itself down for us in illusions, in small bits. And those small bits may be as small as a mustard seed, or in smaller as a microscopic creature. Or that small bit of it may be as great as a universe full of stars and suns and moons and planets and black holes and everything. And that's the least of it. Now, who is there to argue with that? You know, people can say, "Oh, he's insane. What is he talking about? How do you know?" Well, people, I don't know. I don't know. All I do know is what my Lord tells me. And I know that my Lord has captured me, compels me, contains me, controls me, move me, give me wisdom, give me insight, give me laughter, give me love, give me pain, give me mercy, and always tell me, I am with you. And I've been in this state for 27 and a half years, and I cannot get out of this state. I have yet to be able to get out of this state. That's what I do know, regardless of what anybody say or think about it.
Right.
You know?
So true.
And as you know, the devil has been trailing me for 27 and a half years, trying to find one thing. And I challenge the Muslims, the Christians, all of them. And I just want to say this to the audience, too. I say Muslims and Christians, but I'm not just talking about Muslims and Christians. I only say Muslims and Christians because that's what's so prevalent in our world.
Exactly.
This small world of ours here. But what I say goes for the Hebrews, the Judaized, the Aryan, Semitics, the Hindus and the Taoists and the Jains and all the people in the world. My words goes for them too. And it's a challenge to them. And I've challenged the people. And for all these years, we've had the most ignorant and low-minded people stand back and want to argue and throw stones. And they have no argument. It's like foolish to get out there and even talk with them, you know. But those who lead them and those who know the books,
right,
they stand in the shadows, and that proves that they are devils.
Right.
Because, see, I'm going to tell you something. If I was insane, if I was crazy, You would have ABC, CBS, NBC. They would have acknowledged me when I sent them letters and stuff.
Right.
Right? Making phone calls and all the things that we've done to try to get their attention. Somebody said, let's go check this guy out. 9 on your side. Go check this crazy man out. You understand? Some of these high-profile leaders who've been contacted, they would have come or invited me to make a fool of myself.
Right.
You understand? Because we've given them very legible, very intelligent offerings.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So
to invitations. But see, the thing about it is they are controlled and contained by their devils and the spirits of their devils.
Mm-hmm.
And it is hard. It is, what was that saying? It is hard for the rich man to climb the ladder of bliss and to pass a camel through the eye of a needle.
Oh, yeah.
You got these high-profile leaders, man. They feel like they have power.
Mm-hmm.
They have fame. They love the attention that their people give them. They love the riches that their people give them. And you have some who actually in this nation talks like they have a nation.
Yeah.
Talk like they own a nation, like they're the Lord of their nation. Mm-hmm. I'm not calling any names.
Right.
They act like they got power with the politicians and with people in foreign lands, and they talk big.
Right.
But what do they lead us to? What do they lead the people to? They still lead them to Washington, D.C.,
right.
to the White House.
Mm-hmm. At the steps.
And I'm going to tell you something. I've had a lot of people come to me with their devils and say, oh, come on, brother, that was yesterday. That was yesterday. You living in yesterday. White man and change. Everybody moving on up. Why you still talking like that? No, fool. White man ain't changed. Mm-hmm. The white man just became more intelligent in this game.
Right.
And our so-called freedom fighters, our leaders, mm-hmm. they didn't found a way to seduce them. They give them all jobs now.
Yeah.
Let them come into the White House. Man, you ever see them Chester cats in the White House?
Mm-hmm.
They so happy they're in the White House. Yeah. And the enemy have put them in positions of power to control the people. The politicians control the people. The religious leaders control the people. The educators in the schools control the people. They put people in positions to control the people. Why must they control the people? Why is there a need to control the people? Because if the people find out that they are the devils and the servants of the devils, that the demon beast that hides among the men and jinn of mankind is real, then the people, there's going to be an uproar. Mm-hmm. They are so evil that they were afraid to let the people know that they are real aliens. Right. Other beings from other places. Why is it that you have to be insane to believe in aliens? Because the Caucasians who rule this country have told you to be insane, or you must be insane because they're trying to hide something. Mm-hmm. There are many military people, like myself, ex-military people, who knows about what the military was doing in terms of trying to track these aliens. When I was in the military in 1970, 71, 72, mm-hmm. back in those periods of time, they was tracking them, mm-hmm. And I was part responsible for information regarding it, but they'll say, hey, don't listen to these people, they're crazy, Why? Why? Because they must maintain control. If you believe that there's some force greater than them, then they're not the gods, they're not the lords, they're not the powers that kill the Son of God.
Right.
Huh?
Another thing to be worshiped or look to anymore now.
There you go. It's something greater than them. Right. So that they must keep themselves up to in the appearance of being the greatest. Even if it means they're greater than the devil that they want everybody to fear. Right. And we shouldn't fear the devil.
Right. You was always taught by, you always taught from Ahezaah that to fear Satan and to serve Satan.
Yes, it's definitely to serve the devil. If you fear that devil, you're going to serve it. Mm-hmm. Anything you fear, just like I mentioned the military. They tell you, come on, you can be all you can want to be. Come on, you can be a technician, you can be a computer analyst, you can be everything you want to be, whatever it is you want to be. Come on in. And once you take that oath,
that's right.
That devil, they got all kinds of ways to get out of their contracts. Oh, yeah. But if you ever make a contract with the devil, you can't get out of it. And you go in there and say, hey man, like myself, you said I could be what I want to be. I wanted to be, what I wanted to be back then in the day. They said, listen, let me tell you something.
That's right.
You are a GI. And this is what they told our whole platoon. You're a GI. You're all GIs. Do you know what GI represent? Government issue.
That's right.
And I had not known that that's what GI meant.
Me neither, because I went to service.
So you went to service. They said, you're a government issue. And they said, do you know what a government issue is?
Yeah.
Pens and papers and paper clips and typewriters, and those are government issues. And the men and women, you're all government issues, and you're all equal to a pencil. So don't tell me about what you want to be. That's after you take the oath, man. That's the devil. The devil will make you take an oath knowing that it is deceiving you.
Yep.
See, you take your oath with the Lord Most High, with Ahezaah, amen, and you know what you're taking that oath for. You take your shahada, and that's you giving your oath. I bear witness to you that there is no Lord worthy of worship except you, that you are the Lord of lords, you are the master of all things, you are the reality of being, and I bear witness to you, and I'm going to lay my life down for you. Right. I'm going to give myself up to you in service to you so that I may be guided right and protected, right, guarded, and blessed to make it to the old paradise when I pass off into the next life. You know what your contract is all about. And Allah don't change anything once you get in there into that contract.
That's one of the things I wanted to mention that you mentioned. People many times are duped by the devil, and you mentioned the contract, the covenant, the agreement that it sits down to mankind. Now, many times people in religion say religion failed them because they don't uphold their part of the contract. Right. And that's why many people say, I tried that. Christianity, I tried Islam. It didn't work. It didn't work because to the extent that you went into with the wrong intention, wrong concept of thinking that the Lord you want something for nothing. Basically, everybody in the world, I want that, but I don't want to strive. Allah says in the Quran, for example, man gets nothing unless he strive for it. Yes. Now, what's to be striven for?
Allah.
No, I know that, but people, they're looking for the goods of this world. They're looking for the goods of this world. Yes. And people think the goods, automatically think the material, the monetary, the things of this lower world's around.
But it must be the teachers and preachers, they're taught that.
They're taught that.
Well, that's the devil again. The Lord said, seek the good of this life and the next life. Mm-hmm. You see, now the Lord has explained to me in breaking the seals, another seal broken. Yes, sir. That the good of this life and the next is only one thing. Yeah. It is the good of this life and the next. It didn't say seek the goods of this life and the next. What do you know about the goods in the next life? Right. What goods are there in the next life? You gonna go to heaven and be what you call one of them salesmen that
salesman.
Be walking around with your push cart, being a peddler up in heaven. Yeah. Now none of that stuff is gonna happen. Heaven, the paradise is another realm. Mm-hmm. You go and you're gonna leave this flesh body, this flesh realm, and you're gonna go in what you know, your mind. And you're not taking anything up there. The good in this life is the same good in the next life. As above, so below. The Lord is the Lord is the Lord. That's right. Of all worlds. And this is the good, and it says seek it, and it alone. It says that it is the one to be perceived, and it really didn't tow me up to find out that noon has been mistranslated in the Quran over hundreds of times. I don't even know how many times. Yeah. Hundreds. Who knows how many? It could be 1,000 times. I'm telling you. They took the noon and almost removed it. They only use it where they have to say something about it. Mm-hmm. Allah says in the Quran that it is the one to be perceived. Mm-hmm. Perceived in what? Perceived in all that is. Mm-hmm. In all that you do, the Lord is to be perceived in what is being done and who is the doer of what is being done. And if you perceive the Lord in all these acts, when people so-called do you wrong, when you find fault, when you make mistakes, you'll look to the Lord. Wait a minute, Lord, you let this happen to me? Or you doing this to me? Okay,
Why? Let me think about why you're doing this. Because I know there's a reason for it, and that reason is me. It's in me.
Right.
You won't be pointing the finger out, blaming everybody else. You know, you won't be saying the religion failed me, Islam failed me. Islam has never failed anyone because Islam cannot fail anyone. Islam is a positive force in creation.
Right.
Completely positive.
Yes.
The covenant of the Lord, no matter what name it comes down and see, one of the things that the devil has done to the people of religion, it has duped them into believing that they have something different from one another.
That's yeah.
See, the Islam is the same thing that Adam was told to worship under.
Right.
In Methuselah, Lot, Noah, Jesus, John, all of them was told to worship under Islam. But Allah, the Lord Most High, who has been called many names, who called himself by many names, didn't give it a name.
Right.
Until Muhammad. It named it Islam. It said, this is what I give you, Islam. And see, where people make their mistake in Islam, they don't realize that words, just like in the Hebrew language,
right.
words mean sometimes phrases. Jerusalem, the city of peace. Jerusalem, Israel, soldiers of peace.
Okay.
The soldiers of El, Israel, Muslim, that which surrenders to the Lord, to the Creator, to the Master. And see, people don't understand. Islam, the religion of peace. Okay, it is the religion of the religion of the peace.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand? And so when people misconstrue these words and don't understand that when I bring something to you from another language, it can mean a number of things.
Right.
It's for you to try to understand, find out what these things mean before you go throw them around. Now you got people talking about we're the Israelites. You know, anybody could be an Israelite if you're talking about a soldier of the Lord.
That's right.
Because Jacob was not Israel until the Lord Most High, Allaah, who they call Elohim,
Right.
named him Israel.
Right.
So I now name you a soldier of El.
That's right.
You understand? So those who came behind Israel really are the sons and daughters of Jacob.
That's what.
They ain't all Israels. They ain't all Israelites because they're not all soldiering for the Lord. They could be soldiering for the devil, as we know.
That's right. Part of that speech we talked about the Hebrew who called himself Judah, the founder son of Judah.
Yes.
Taking on the name.
Right, and that's why they're of Judaism. May I use some speech?
Yes, sir. This is not our Lord. Have a good evening.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you